For decades, Canada's auto industry was dominated by Detroit, Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis built over 100 million vehicles here and controlled Canadian manufacturing for nearly a century. But today, that dominance is collapsing, and the trigger was trade war politics. When Donald Trump threatened Canada with tariffs, Canadians didn't submit. They switched brands. Japanese cars replaced American ones, and Detroit's grip on Canada began to unravel. In the mid-2000s, the Detroit 3 produced 56% of all vehicles made in Canada. Last year, that figure collapsed to 23%. Nearly half of Canadian auto production disappeared in less than a decade, and almost all of that loss came from American automakers. Meanwhile, Honda and Toyota didn't retreat. They stayed. Their combined share of Canadian production rose from 44% to 77%. Not because they massively expanded, but because Detroit collapsed. The Trillium Network for Advanced Manufacturing tracked Ontario's auto sector for a decade. Their conclusion was blunt. Detroit is disappearing from Canada, and Japan is filling the void. The difference comes down to strategy. Japanese automakers treat Canadian plants as long-term assets inside global production networks. American automakers treat plants as quarterly profit centers. Toyota builds the RAV4 hybrid and Lexus RX in Ontario. Honda produces the Civic and CR-V. These factories were upgraded for hybrids even during downturns. While Detroit cut production, laid off workers, and closed lines, Japanese companies invested through hard times. Short-term thinking created a downward spiral for Detroit. Every cut weakened supply stability, pushed buyers away, and made Japanese brands even more attractive. In the mid-2000s, Detroit automakers employed 60% of Canada's auto assembly workers. Last year, that fell to just over 40%. Japanese companies now employ the majority of Canadian auto workers. Stellantis cut thousands of jobs. General Motors idled plants. Ford scaled back production. Workers noticed. So did unions. Unifor began urging the government to reward actual investment, not legacy loyalty. Auto parts leaders echoed the message. Incentives should go to companies building vehicles and jobs in Canada today, not those managing decline. Trump imposed 25% tariffs on vehicles from Canada and Mexico, claiming national security. But North American auto manufacturing is deeply integrated. Parts cross borders dozens of times. Canadian plants build components for American trucks, and U.S. plants build engines for Canadian cars. The tariffs broke that system. General Motors reported $1.1 billion in tariff costs. Stellantis warned of losses over $3 billion. Japanese automakers were hit less. Honda and Toyota already assemble 3.3 million vehicles in U.S. plants, making their supply chains less dependent on cross-border flows. Then came the turning point. Trump reduced tariffs on Japanese imports to 15%, while vehicles built in Canada, even with American content, still faced 25% tariffs. Detroit exploded. Even U.S. auto unions said American workers were being left behind. Canadian consumers noticed too. Toyota posted record Canadian sales. The RAV4 became the country's best-selling passenger vehicle. Honda's CR-V and Civic dominate their segments. Detroit still sells trucks and premium brands, but mass-market dominance is gone. Canadian buyers no longer default to American brands. They actively choose Japanese ones. And now, something bigger is coming. Canada reduced tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, opening the door to EVs priced under $25,000. That matters because most EVs in Canada cost over $40,000. BYD, the world's largest EV maker, is already exploring Canadian production. If Chinese EVs are built in Canada, tariffs disappear entirely. That would permanently destroy what remains of Detroit's mass-market position. Japanese automakers will adapt. They already dominate hybrids. Detroit, by contrast, bet heavily on expensive EVs it struggles to sell profitably. Detroit's dominance in Canada is over. Not because of Canada, not because of Japan, but because of decades of short-term thinking, underinvestment, and a trade war that punished allies instead of competitors. Trump believed tariffs would force Canada to submit. Instead, they pushed Canadian buyers away permanently. Japan invested, Detroit threatened, China is next. Threatening your closest trading partner is the fastest way to lose market share forever, and Detroit proved it itself.